Hey guys, welcome into another edition of the Two Guys from Wisconsin podcast. I am Logan. I am joined once again by Jake, and tonight is just going to be, I think it's just going to be kind of up in the air. Whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about. A little bit of Packers, a little bit of Bucks, a little bit of MMA. Probably get back into some fantasy too, Jake, if you're interested. When's our fantasy draft? It's coming up soon, like month maybe.
Like 2-3 weeks, man.
Oh, geez, I gotta get back on the horse.
I need to get my magazine for real.
I got one a couple weeks ago, I think, but I wish I would have waited. This one's still relatively early, and magazines are great. I feel like for actually at the draft and having something to cross off, but I don't know. I feel like I don't. Like, I have my own way of doing things anyway, so it's not like I really follow what those damn things say anyways. I really, essentially, for me, it's become a $14 cheat sheet that I could print off on the internet.
It's really convenient to buy a magazine.
I agree.
Last year I did it with my phone, and it was challenging. I'm sitting here Googling top 25 tight ends, upcoming season, NFL, and then I had to go through and figure out which ones were already taken. So magazine is the way to go. Which one do you buy?
Well, the one I bought was run by fantasyguru.com. It's got Cam Newton on the cover. It's really good. I like the they do a really cool outlook on the teams. So hey, fantasyguru.com, bet you didn't expect you'd get a plug tonight, but here it is. So I don't know. I really like it. They have a really nice team outlook and stuff like that, and they actually have really lengthy arguments for each player and where they put them. So I thought that was kind of cool. Rodgers is their number one quarterback. Cam is number two.
Right. Damn right.
So, and I think Brown in this one is the number one overall player. I think that's just the thing now.
And
I think he's
Antonio Brown?
Yeah, I think Antonio Brown is just like the consensus number one guy. And I'm all on board for this like wide receiver stuff all of a sudden taking over running backs, but I feel like there's just so much more at risk when you take the wide receiver because one, not only can your own guy get hurt and screw everything up for you, but if that guy's quarterback gets hurt, that drops his value too. At least if I'm drafting a running back high and he gets hurt, that's it. That's the only thing hurting me. But like if I'm taking Brown and let's say Roethlisberger gets hurt, can you name the Steelers' backup quarterback right now? I don't think I could.
No, I can't. David Garrard, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Wide receiver is a combined effort position.
Yeah.
Unless they're weird and go in the backfield like Randall Cobb does sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's very seldom. What do you think about taking a backup running back in the later rounds for a starter that you know is injury prone?
Oh, the handcuff? I swear by it, man. Last year, so I had Bell, and we were in a keeper, and I knew that he was going to miss time. So, and this wasn't even later rounds. I took D'Angelo in the 8th or 9th round last year, and I gotta tell you, there were games where D'Angelo carried me as a handcuff running back.
Pick.
He carried me, and I can't remember what I went. I went 8. Oh no, I probably went 7 and 7, I think, last year. But
I can't remember last year. I don't know what I did last year.
I mean,
know I made a.
That's like
I made a late season move. That's about it.
That's like the funny thing about fantasy is like everyone is extremely go hung, and everyone wants to talk about who I have, what I did. Everyone wants to tell everybody about their own fantasy team, and then the second you have 4 wins, and it's January, interest goes straight out the tube. and like you don't remember your record, you don't remember the players you had. The only time you do is if you won the championship or if you're in the playoffs. Like, other than that, no one ever talks about it.
You know what I think is hilarious? Every single year after a losing season, you're just like, I'm done with fantasy this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the league next year. I hate everybody. And then the season rolls around, and you're like, hey, guys, still doing a fantasy season? Mind if I get in on that? And then you end up having, like, 3 teams that you're running.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing about, when I first started playing, it was something to do with my friends to just have another thing to hold over their head or to make fun of them about, our just typical friends group stuff. Like, and it's just kind of evolved into this thing. I mean, obviously there's the gambling aspect, but like, you talk to these guys and they have 7 or 8 teams. Like, I have a hard enough time doing money leagues. I love the way we have it set up with, we just do it for bragging rights, and that is seriously the most competitive league I've ever been in and continue to be in. It's more competitive because
there's so many arguments every year.
Yeah, because we want to win. We want to win that league.
It's funny. I like it. It's good stuff. You know what I did this year, though? Because I've had so many playoff runs where I finished a close second or a 4th place, I started a new Yahoo account. Much like an NFL team moves cities to start fresh, I started a new account.
Did you, now, here's my question. Did you change up the jerseys? Did you pick a new helmet on Yahoo?
Last year I had a picture of Rick Weiss, Division
right.
3's finest.
That's right.
So this year I have a football helmet again.
There you go. See, okay, so speaking of Yahoo, has there been a worse transformation in the last 3 or 4 years than Yahoo Fantasy Football? It is a garbage app. Their website is often if you go on the computer, their website is often unmanageable, and I feel like the only reason we don't change is because we're just so used to it and would be afraid to try any other ESPN or anything else just because we're so used to what we have.
No, I agree. Their new mobile app, the update, was just terrible. It's hard to navigate. I can't get anywhere. I had to go on the actual website, log in, start a new account, just to do my fantasy league, and I had to go to the actual website to sign up for our league. It was stupid. I couldn't do it from the mobile.
Huh. What a joke.
It wouldn't let me. It was really, yeah. Well, I don't know. Yahoo just actually sold.
Yeah.
They're underneath new ownership. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that really has much deal, but isn't that crazy? Like, I just remember Yahoo being the first website when we were in school that was like the search engine. You know what I mean? Yahoo search was like the first one, and it was bad. Like, it wasn't any good. I mean, now it's awful. I don't know one person that still goes to Yahoo. That's why it blows my mind. Would they go for $4 billion or something like that? Just like UFC. I think they went for the same price.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just remember when Yahoo first came out, and I was a kid, like 7 or 8. I used to go online and play pool and chat with weird people. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I was like the first catfish ever. I think I invented catfishing at 7 years old.
It was easy. And like,
I used to pose as a 27-year-old Hispanic man from Arizona.
Name. what was your name? Guillermo?
El Tigre.
El Tigre. That's right. You were a luchador.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
And people.
I have a picture of Nacho. Nacho Libre.
Oh wow. No man, like I just remember it being. The old fantasy football stuff was simple and easy to navigate. Now that app is garbage. I mean, like, it's hard to navigate, and if you want to change anything, it's tough. And it always asks me to rate it, and I always give it just a terrible rating. And it's always like, oh, we're sorry. Well, You know your app is shit. Why are you like? Come on. And like,
I think they're just trying to keep up with Google,
Yeah.
but they can't.
yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter now. They're bought out, but that's just it. Like, I don't need all these bells and whistles for fantasy football. I know where I can find info on players. You don't have to flood my team. Like, when you look at your roster, it's like flooded with all this information. I can go to a different page to look at it. Like, I don't want more crap on my screen. I've already got ads up the ass on each side.
That bothers me so much. And then they have pop-ups that you accidentally click on. That takes you some weird ad screen, and then next thing you know, you're on some site you shouldn't be. At least that happens to me all the time.
I was talking about that with some people at work. Like, when did we just allow it to happen? Or, like, everything we go to, or, like, it's only been in the last 8 years, maybe, where anytime we want to watch a video, regardless, not just YouTube, but, like, if we want to watch a video, let's say on MLB.com, or I want to watch a highlight on ESPN, the highlight could be 8 seconds. I have to watch a 30-second ad to watch that 8 seconds, and it's stupid. And we just let this happen. Like, was there a vote I wasn't aware of, or was I too young for the vote? Like, when did that shit happen?
No. I don't know. I think because more and more people are using the internet for TV services, and like DirecTV and stuff is going by the wayside, so I think maybe they're just switching ads over to the internet now.
Dude, I don't know one person who has DirecTV.
I have some weird package. It's almost like DirecTV, but it's not. It's like a bundle package with my internet. It's like Vernon County something or other.
See,
really weird. I still get HD channels.
There you go. See, we just have antenna. It's HD antenna, but now that football is coming back and I want to watch a lot of the Bucks, the upcoming season, I'm trying to con Amanda, my lovely girlfriend, who is my one, to letting me get TV with the sports package on. Hon, will you let me get the TV? Hey, all right. That's confirmation. These go into the annals of history on the internet. So this cannot be taken away. This is a real thing. Jake, for the record,
this is technically an archive. I'm right here.
For the record,
I heard it.
For the record, Amanda said yes. And you notice how I threw the with the sports package in there, and she just kept saying yes. She didn't care. So when them bills are coming in for about $80, Amanda's saying, "Hey, you, sexy man, why is this bill so expensive?" I'm gonna be like, "Look, you agreed to this thing. What do you want me to do?" we have it. It's archived, dear. I don't know what you want.
I heard it. You know how ridiculous I am with the UFC?
Yeah.
I can't order through the channels that I have. I can't order the pay-per-view of Diaz McGregor 2. That's coming up in 2 weeks. No, 9 days.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, dude.
Yeah, so I'm actually ordering the sports package along with all the NFL channels just to get the pay-per-view so I can order it.
Oh my lord. What else is on that card, Jake?
Let me pull it up here, good sir. It's actually pretty big.
I thought
bigger than UFC 200.
Yeah, I thought it was like going to be sneaky good and better than 200. But the only fight I know of was the main event because, me, I'm a pretty big wrestling mark, and McGregor had that whole Twitter thing with a lot of WWE wrestlers. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, like, look, I know I'm a smart. I know it's a sham. I just like the matches. I'm not a big storyline guy, but a lot of those guys are collegiate wrestlers that, or ex-football players or something like that. They're dudes that can go. And I can't remember exactly what it is. He called I believe the exact words was in "plug your children's ears." I believe he called everyone a pussy, and that he'd slap the heads off everyone in the entire locker room. And he's like, except for Brock, I respect Brock, but he's juiced up to his eyes. And I laughed and laughed and laughed.
I really think that he meant that. I think he meant what he said, but I also think he did it for marketing.
Oh, absolutely. He's the best marketer in sports right now.
He is, and now, because think about it, you make all the WWE fans mad at you.
They want to watch you lose
basically
now.
Threaten. Exactly. So now they're just going to buy the pay-per-view. I think it was very clever.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking at UFC 202. There's a good amount of fights on here that are really interesting, man. Let's see. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor is the main event. Then you got Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Glover Teixeira, which is a table-setting match. That's the co-headline.
Yep.
Or co-main, sorry. You got very well-known Donald Cerrone versus a veteran of the sport, Rick Story.
How's he doing?
Donald Cerrone?
Yeah. No, the other one.
Rick Story, he's towards the tail end of his career.
Yeah, I know that name.
He's I'm not sure the background of this fight, if it was just a fill-in fight or what the deal was, if someone backed out.
Mm-hmm.
To cap off the preliminary card, the main event on the prelims is Cody Garbrandt. You'll be hearing about him soon. He's been knocking everyone out in the first round. Really good boxer.
Damn.
Really athletic. A lot of people think he has the means to be the next star. Female bantamweight matchup, Raquel Pennington. She was on The Ultimate Fighter. She did pretty well. And then you have Conor McGregor's teammate, Artem Lobov, versus Nate Diaz's teammate, Chris Avila. This is their first UFC fights. And they made this fight because Nate Diaz told Conor that his entire team could slap the head off Conor's entire team.
Oh yeah. Is that just the thing you say now? Slap the head off?
Slap the head off. He was mocking Conor. He was mocking Conor.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
Well, I was gonna say, if you go to the bar and let's say there's a new bartender and you ask for, I'll have whatever's on tap. Give me a Miller Lite on tap. And they fill it up wrong. It has too much head on the beer. What do you got to do? Slap the head off of it, right? So
I think slap the head off as some other thing.
Now settle down. Wait a minute.
Hey, hold on. Now that we're on YouTube, we can speak freely, my man.
Yep.
We're free people.
Yep. We're no longer under the chains and shackles of God. What do we even use? SoundCloud and RAQ. That's right. We're copyright. What copyright?
We're free men. A fight that you might know, maybe not. Neil Magny. He is. I honestly don't know how he hasn't gotten a title shot yet. This guy is insane. Mm-hmm. He caps off the UFC Fight Pass card, which is really weird on how they're starting to set that up now. The UFC Fight Pass, the internet streaming that we have talked about in previous podcasts.
Yep. They're
starting to do main events for that now to draw in more people to their UFC Fight Pass internet service.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making those cards more enticing, the internet-only ones.
Well, you know what?
I'm going to buy this. I want to see this fight. So.
Well, shit, yeah. I mean, it's essentially another revenue stream for them. I mean, with advertising and stuff. I mean, I was reading something today just based on advertising and TV deals and internet deals alone can bring in a company tons of money.
Right. That's what WWE does. We talked about it before.
Yep.
Dude, speaking of WWE, I saw a picture of Vince McMahon the other day. What is he, 74 years old or something? And he has arms bigger than my thighs.
Well, I think it's
He's
pretty.
scary.
It's pretty. I think it's. No one really likes to admit anything or say much, but as Michael Phelps just won this gold medal by like 3 freaking body lengths, my God.
He just won another gold medal just now?
Yeah. He was behind on the last 100, and then just like destroyed everyone and pulled away. That was incredible. I was like, as I was talking, he pulled away, and I just kind of kept rambling, and then he won. That was really cool. These Olympics have been fun. Like, I don't know if you've been able to watch any of the events, but they've been really good so far. America's kicking ass. America, hell yeah.
I watched a rerun of our women's gymnastics team.
They're incredible.
Dominate. That was so awesome. They're good. They're so good. It's amazing to watch. You got China, who has 16-year-olds competing. You got America, who has 19-year-olds competing, and we're just killing the game.
Yep. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch. And then, I mean, we haven't even gotten into any of the running stuff. Basketball. Yep. Basketball had a tough test against Australia. Matthew Dellavedova, new Milwaukee Buck, had a good game. Speaking of the Bucks,
I heard
Carmelo had a
Anthony
good game.
pulled it together for us.
He had like 9 threes. Bogut had a good game. I mean, I really wanted, after Golden State signed Durant, I really wanted the Bucks to give Golden State a call and be like, what would you take for Bogut? Because, I mean, I just want every old Buck back.
You want Bogut back?
I love Andrew Bogut, dude. He's an awesome defender. He's an awesome rebounder. He sets the best screens in the league, moving or not.
He broke his arm. Okay, on live TV.
I watched it. I
watched it too. I was like, whoa.
I think I like, God, I was probably 20 when that happened. That was Fear the Deer. So that was 2010.
Dude,
And
I watched Sid Vicious break his leg.
Oh God, Tommy told me about that one time. Oh my Lord, poor Sid Vicious.
I saw the guy from Kentucky.
Yes.
Louisville. The guy from
Louisville.
Louisville snapped his leg on live TV. And
it showed the bone.
It's scary.
It is, man. I think I shed a tear when Bogut broke his arm because we were seriously the Bucks were a 50-win team. Bogut was like an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And we were going to make it to like the second round of the playoffs, and I don't know if we would have beat the Celtics or beat the Cavs in the in the second round, but they were an entertaining team. Brandon Jennings rookie year. God, that was just a fun team. But the reason I brought the Bucks up is because did you hear who's looking to get back in the league and who said he would love to play for the Milwaukee Bucks?
John Stockton.
Sugar Ray Allen.
Really?
Yeah, he said that he...
Does he still have it?
Well, he's never officially retired, and I can guarantee that that man could shoot a corner three until he's about 80 years old. And really, I mean, the Bucks need shooting. They have $2.5 million that they could give him. I think that would be more than substantial. And I mean,
I think that's way more, maybe like 500,000.
Yeah, vet minimum probably. But I mean, you have to think of the Milwaukee premium. If you want him to play in Milwaukee, you got to give him a little bit more. That's just the way it works. But I mean, man, a veteran presence on a young team, a guy who is a good talker and a good motivator, a guy who could probably help Giannis out with his shot, maybe. I mean, essentially going to be a coach on the floor. I don't see any negatives. He's not going to hold anyone back. He's not going to start. I don't know, man. Maybe Ray Allen is my favorite Buck of all time. I mean, I was a huge Ray Allen fan. So I I'm a little biased when it comes to that, but
What's his relationship like with Jason Kidd?
you know what? That's a really good question. I'm not 100% sure, but if we haven't heard anything, then it's probably good. Normally in the NBA, normally in the NBA, if there's any inkling of guys not liking each other, we would have known by now, just because that seems to be the way it goes in the NBA. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it would work out. I think it'd be really good.
I think so too.
You know,
I wouldn't mind it.
You know what did not
Good
work
old
out?
Ray Allen.
You know what did not work out though, Jake?
What?
The field in Canton, Ohio.
Was it Canton, Ohio?
It was in Canton, man. It was at the Hall of Fame. And, I mean, first, let me just say that I don't know if you watched it, but the speech by Brett Favre was awesome. It was really good.
No, I didn't watch it. I don't like Favre. He didn't mention any of his selfies that he took, though. I was kind of I was disappointed on that.
You know, that just kind of went by the wayside, didn't it? Could you imagine? Okay, so that happened in what, 2009? If that had happened,
yeah.
Let's say that happened in this training camp. He'd be blackballed, dude.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it was that big of a deal because honestly, it's kind of a human thing. I mean, he's still human.
Well, it was private too.
I mean,
it was a private thing too. But then again, it was also private when Donald Sterling
Bill Clinton.
Well, that too. It was also private when Donald Sterling went on his tirade to his girlfriend about African Americans, and I mean, it's sad that that's what it took to get him out of the NBA. Because he should have been kicked out of the league for his housing discrimination way, way, way before that. Because he's a shitty human being anyways.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it took an invasion of privacy to get him out of the NBA. So, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on that. I don't want to talk about that. But anyways, this field in Canton. I was, like, legit excited for the game. And, like, my phone was charging. So, I wasn't checking Twitter or anything like that. And then a half hour before the game starts, I, go to watch and nothing's going on.
I like the call that they made because that's how people break their legs and stuff like that.
Well,
it's really hard on the joints, ACL. If you can't dig your cleats in, you're going to hurt yourself.
We know those little beads on the artificial field, I guess they, melted together and were... The word I kept hearing was tar-like.
I thought it was stupid anyways. Why do we have to do an extra game?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And, the thing is it's essentially a money grab for both the NFL and the Hall of Fame. And I have a feeling... Now, let's say this was a regular season game. Okay? This was a regular season game, Sunday night, primetime football. They play that game. Regardless of safety to the players, they play that game. Because the game was canceled Sunday because it didn't cost the NFL anything. If that was a regular season game and that field was unsafe for them to play on, they still would have played. This is a league that put referees that were unfit. Clearly, it's proven that were unfit to be on the field. And over health insurance for referees. And they put scab referees on the field that cost people games. Most notably, us, as Packer fans, cost us a game. Most, hey, that's why I'm so upset about it. But you have a league that put out scab referees because it didn't want to pay a couple extra million in a league that makes billions for health insurance for its referees. So
they own one day of the week.
Yep, they do. I don't know. I guess I'm just more
that's so ridiculous.
I guess I'm just more negative about it and critical, but
Well, I'm the guy that says we should only have 2 preseason games.
Yep.
That's what I think. Because teams already do their scrimmages. They're already playing each other 11.
You still there, Jake?
You still...
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
here. I cut out a little bit.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
But so they play each other 11 on 11 in practice, and then they play other teams in scrimmages. And then you want them to do 4 preseason games and then the regular season. How about we just do 2 preseason games and then regular season? You don't need that much practice. They're pro athletes. They do it all the time.
Like,
I don't know.
I get it. And I wish they would do a 2 preseason game format and then go with the scrimmages and just, you would essentially, it would be a game. It wouldn't have to be televised. You could televise it if you want, but it would just be your backups. You want to see what these guys have against other competition. But the thing is, these preseason games are way too monetized, and they bring in so much revenue for these teams. So if you just turn it into a scrimmage where it's, at some college stadium or at your training camp facility or whatever, the team loses out on a bunch of money, the NFL loses out on a bunch of money, and they never do it. They always claim that player safety is of the highest regard, yet all of their actions prove that it never is.
Nope.
But
it's just, I don't know. I thought this Hall of Fame game, when I figure out they're playing it, I'm like, I'll still watch it, but I'm not really a fan of it. Why do we need it?
Well, because, I wanted to watch it because I want to see how the young wide receivers play. I wanted to see how Martinez, who apparently is just blowing up in camp, and middle linebacker is playing. That's why I think preseason is good. You get to see your 50 through 30 guys, and you essentially get to see how your depth is going to look. And I think that's beneficial. I think it's incredibly beneficial for those guys because they're fighting for a spot on a team and a paycheck and a livelihood. And as fans, you get to, understand your team's depth a little bit and see what you've got, really. And I think until, you really start caring about player safety and stuff like that, I don't think any of that is going to change. But would you be in favor of a 2 preseason 18-game schedule? Because I've heard that's being proposed.
Yeah, I would like that. And then I would even, I don't know, a lot of people oppose this, but I would like to see an expansion of the playoffs. I think they should make playoffs a bigger tournament.
Yeah, what is it?
More rounds.
It's 12 teams? 12 of the 32?
Yeah, so that way, in the past, we've had 10-5 teams not make the playoffs.
Or 10-6.
And I think that's silly.
I agree.
That's silly.
I agree.
I always think we should expand it.
There would be a way you could do it. There would be a way you could do it where more teams get buys, and you could do, I don't know. There's a way you could configure it where an extra team or 2 more teams get a buy, and you could let those, team 13 and team 14 in. The only thing is you don't want to get to an NBA situation where you're letting half of your league in, and that's where you get the 8th seeds that are under 500. You know what I mean? And then
not very good.
Yep, and then you have it one time where a team is under. It always happens in the NFL now, where a team who's under 500 or bad gets into the playoffs and beats somebody, and then that team is pissed because they lost. But then again, it's like, go beat them.
Yeah.
But
if you're as good as you think you are and you want to win the Super Bowl, you better be able to beat a team that's not even 500.
Yep. But I mean, that's just it. It's just winning in the NFL is so hard, anyways. It just adds another hurdle and another win for you to have. I'm sure the NFL would love it because that's more revenue and more viewership and stuff. But I bet coaches and players would absolutely hate it. And at a certain point, you've got to draw a line and decide, okay, they're a $1 billion business. They're not losing money anytime soon. As long as people have allegiances to their own teams, I'll bitch and moan about the NFL all day, but I love the Packers like they're a goddamn family member. and I won't stop watching them as much as I'll complain about how the league handles a lot of their issues, whether it's player safety or how they deal with athlete discipline or something like that. I love the team that I love so much that I will continue to watch them regardless of how bad the league does.
The league is so hit or miss. I feel like they have no structure when it comes to their justice system in the NFL.
Well, it's you're right. Structure is exactly right, because you have this guy who's at the head, but he's essentially made himself the czar of the league.
Right. Well, how many games did Ray Rice get for knocking out his wife?
He essentially got a season.
Is he still banned?
He got a season, and
he got a season ban.
But he's allowed to play if a team will bring him in. And I think the reason he got the ban, what he did was reprehensible. I don't think anyone can dispute that. But if there was not video, he would have been allowed to play. And I think that's the problem with how the league polices it.
The point I'm trying to make is, now how many athletes have gotten banned for a whole season for violating the substance abuse policy or
weed or something.
Smoking weed.
Yep.
So you're going to give a guy that's just violating the policy versus a guy who literally committed domestic abuse, knocked his girlfriend out like Mike Tyson in his prime, and you're just going to give him the same punishment that you gave someone for a violation. I don't understand that at all.
Weed, and it's silly. And especially, these guys will claim pain management for weed. For a lot of them, they've just done it as kids, and it's ingrained in them. That's what they do. Fine, whatever.
Right.
Say pain management, because I'm sure they have to find some crazy ways to manage the pain. I mean, Jesus, they crash into each other at 25 miles an hour every single day for 6 months. So however they need to relieve their pain for my entertainment, go for it. As long as it's not...
Realistically, weed, it's not performance enhancing.
No.
And it's free in, a couple states.
Yeah.
So, but physical domestic abuse is not
allowed,
legal in any state. So the fact that you're going to give Ray Rice the same punishment as a guy that just smoked weed is what I'm talking about when there's no structure.
And the thing is, it's just because it's a black guy for the league, because people who still will watch the NFL have the complaints that that word thug. Oh, look at this thug with drugs again. Oh, look at this thug doing this. That's the reason why they put that big punishment on, because of public perception.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yep.
Jesus, the reason we hear about these guys getting busted with drugs is because they're high-profile NFL players. Go look on the Wisconsin State, whatever it's called, and look how many people were busted with the amount of weed these guys had on them. You're going to find hundreds of names in a month.
You're going to find a lot.
Yeah. The only reason we hear about it at the amount that we do is because they're relevant. They're relevant human beings. That's why we hear about it a lot.
Yep.
I'm not a smoker myself. I more enjoy the brown liquor and beer, pizza too. But if that's what they have to do to manage their pain, go for it.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with. It's the same. I know that the NFL doesn't have as strict tests as the UFC does, but I don't understand the whole thing with pain management and how you're gonna just ban them for a year, the same amount of time as a man who just
beat up his wife.
Beat up his wife. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't understand.
Oh, no.
There's no structure.
No, I agree.
There's no structure at all. And who's making these calls in the NFL?
It's just Goodell.
Who's giving them these bans?
It's only Goodell.
That's my point. I don't understand that. You can't have a industry that's as big as the NFL and then just have no structure when it comes to handing out punishment to players.
Yep. It's one guy.
That's one of the big problems I've had with the NFL for a long time.
It's one guy, and he makes the decision based on how the wind is blowing. because, you had the Rice domestic abuse thing, and shortly after that you had the child abuse with Adrian Peterson, and he had the ban as well. He was banned for the season. And it's just like, okay, guys, hey, this year we're having a really bad run-in with domestic violence. Anyone who has domestic violence is an automatic year now, okay? Oh, and from now on, because we're in the public eye, from this day forward, every single person that has domestic abuse gets a year. And you know what? I don't care that guys that get domestic abuse is a year. I'm in the same boat as you, that it's just how the wind is blowing. It's on a whim. There's no structure. It's not the same. You just make it up as you go,
right.
And that's wrong.
And that's what's unappealing to me. I like the NFL, but that's always been unappealing to me. Along with some of the rules that they're making now, it's making it really hard to play defense in the league.
Yeah.
I get it. It's for player safety, but at the same time, you still got to be able to play defense and defend. When you're making these rules for certain players, like the Brady rule, you can't hit below the legs on a quarterback. I completely understand, but when the quarterback's running out of the pocket, you should be able to tackle him like he's a runner.
Yeah, exactly.
It just... rules like that don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just it. We can complain, but where are we going to be on Sundays?
Watching the game.
Yep, and that's just it. Not just watching the Packer game, but me, a lot of our friends, 60% of America are gonna watch the other games too. And are going to watch the Sunday night game, and are going to watch the Monday night game.
The Thursday night games.
Yep.
And speaking of rules, you remember when they're talking about what they should do with the extra point in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Should they take it out of the game altogether? Should they give teams a choice to take the point or go for two? I got to tell you, I think this is a rule that's going to change in upcoming seasons. I think they'll just go to the 2-point conversion. Like, you either do the 2-point conversion and go for two, or you stay at 6.
Well, I mean, you'd always go for the 2-point, but just that would be the extra point, is what you're saying? That you would go...
Yep, that's something that they were talking about, is just taking the kick out of the game altogether.
Yep.
After a touchdown, and then making teams go for 2 points.
Yep.
It makes the game more exciting, I think, when you go for two.
They're essentially trying to make the kicker obsolete, which if you're a skinny dude who's 140 pounds and who's really good at kicking things through an oblong Y-looking structure, that really sucks for you. But, I've always liked kicking. Like, it's a really exciting edge-of-your-seat moment a lot of times.
Especially if it's a clutch situation.
Yeah.
Like the last play of the game, and it's to win the game, and it's 45-yard field goal with the wind blowing at you.
And everyone likes to complain about them, but they're uber talented guys that are able to do this, and it's not an easy task. So that's why whenever people complain about it, I'm like, okay, go do it. Well, that's his job. That's what he gets paid to do. And you know what? He's at about 85% efficiency. Are you at 85% efficiency at what you do at your job? Maybe they are.
It's a tough position. I just know they were talking about taking the field goal.
Yep.
The point after.
The extra point. Yep.
Sorry, the point after. Yeah, point after touchdown. And they're starting to think about taking the kickoff
away. Yeah.
Out of the game.
They're
which I thought was stupid, because it's a crucial point of the game. Teams need to be able to do onside kicks to get the ball back.
Yep. That's exactly it.
I thought that was dumb. Like, why would you take that out of the game?
Yep. I think that's the main counterpoint.
But the thing is, they're talking about these things because they're trying to make it, what can we do to make it more exciting?
It's exciting.
People like to see... It is, but people like to see high offense production.
Fantasy football, man.
I think they're starting to try to gear the game into more offense, which is why you see the stricter defensive rules of why defense can only do certain things, because they want to make the offense more appealing, I feel.
Oh, yeah. So, speaking of the extra point and extra kicks, so there are some preseason games tonight, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted a kicker in the second round. They traded up, Jake, to get him. Okay? And in his...
The Chuccaneers, who haven't won since 2002.
And in his first extra point attempt in preseason, wide lefted it. They drafted this kicker in the second round, and his first kick.
It seems like a move. It seems like a solid move, though. I mean, in terms of fantasy, taking a kicker in the second round.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Jeez. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of something the Raiders would have done when Al Davis was alive, because that's when they drafted Janikowski. Well, no, they drafted Janikowski in the first round.
Sebastian.
The boot. See him out there.
Good old Seabass. Crowd used to chant Seabass when he ever took the field. Yeah.
Chain smoking on the sidelines whenever it's his turn to come out.
He'd come out with a cigarette in his mouth. Yeah. He'd be smoking on the field.
Hey, that guy's smoking. I swear to God. That was one of my...
Flick his cigarette, kick the field goal.
Yep. Oh, my Lord. What a good movie. Hey, if you don't get that reference out there, that's from The Replacements. It's an amazing movie. It's like... I mean, it's not great, but for what it is, it's very good. So, I think it's still on Netflix. Go watch it. There you go, Netflix. We're making a lot of plugs tonight, Jake.
We should be getting paid for these plugs.
I'm telling you,
doing a very good job.
Gotta get these guys on the email list, make a little money. Taking care of Amanda, it's a full-time job in addition to my other full-time job. So, she's got bills to pay. She goes down to the club. She goes to Australian Thunder during deer hunting season. Just throws away all the money. So, we got to really, stock up for the winter, if you know what I'm saying, money-wise. So.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. She's always buying those new cars and new scarves and
running errands at Target.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. We went to go run some errands. We came back with 2 Game Boys.
What?
I'm not joking.
A Game Boy.
She bought 2.
Logan,
she wanted 2.
Do you realize we have Xbox 360, Xbox Ones out, and you're buying Game Boys, which are essentially the new Ataris.
Now, to be fair, they're the DS ones, and they got the Pokemon on them, which is fun. The Pokemon on them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like an old man. The Pokemon. I know what Pokemon
that's why
is.
You bought
I play.
Them.
Yep. They're fun, man. I don't know. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but they're fun. They're good bathroom reading material, if you catch my drift.
Did you have to buy the little lamps that come with them so you can see the screen?
That was some of the worst times of my life because... Yeah, I had one with a magnifying glass with 2 little lights. And, okay, it barely worked. And then one of the lights on the side went out, so I only had one. And you had to, I think you had to plug it into the wall? Or maybe it had batteries? I can't remember. But, you already have this gargantuan Game Boy that weighs about 6.5 pounds with a brick disc sitting on the side of it. And you put this magnifying glass with lights on it. Those were the days.
It was so hard. I remember when I first got a Game Boy, old Randy was really mad that we got one.
Because he wanted one.
We upgraded to the PS2 or something. And then pretty soon he was downstairs breaking records on Tetris.
So he's
for the damn Game Boy.
Yeah. So
yelling at mom to go get him more batteries.
So he's he's 3 or 4 generations behind everyone else. So you're probably telling me right now, he's probably playing 64. He's retired now. He's probably playing 64, playing Mario Kart, screaming at old old Donkey Kong, passing him on the right lane. You son of a bitchin' gorilla!
If you could connect the Game Boy to online and have like a leaderboard,
Oh man!
I bet you he's at the top of the leaderboards by now, of games played, tiles crushed.
Tiles crushed. Yep. So I have a question. So for those of you who don't have frame of reference here of who Randy is, think of, okay, so in one hand you take a hunter and fisherman, in the other hand you take the band Molly Hatchet, the living embodiment of the band Molly Hatchet, and then you take NASCAR and you just roll it into one big ball, and out comes Randy. Oh, shoot!
Out comes
Old Rand.
Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner listening, mullet wearing Rand. And now I have a question. Was he the type of video gamer, so like if he's playing, does he pull you over to make you watch him play on that little Game Boy screen? Did he ever pull any of those moves?
I used to
Or
he
have
used
to
to show
help
me
him?
high scores, and he used to show me high scores that he got.
Hey, Jake.
I remember when I was a kid, we're playing Super Mario Brothers on the Super Nintendo,
Uh-huh.
and back then when you were playing, you could play head to head on there. One was Mario, one was Luigi,
Yep.
and if someone was mid-jump trying to jump a gap where they would fall to their death, you could hit pause. You can hit pause on the other
On your
controller
opponent,
that
yeah.
you're not using. Yeah, and then it would make them fall dead drop into the pitfall. So I would do that to him all the time, and he would get mad and like shut the game off.
No one's playing now. Oh, my Lord.
I laugh so hard.
That's pretty good,
I
man.
remember that. I used to do that to Tom all the time, too. So
Oh,
Wars on the Super Nintendo.
I still have mine. I think it's out in our closet. I still bust it out from time to time. Want to play some NHL 94? Or play some Link to the
Kids
Past?
these days, they just don't understand the old NFL Blitz on the 64.
Oh my God, that was the game, man. Cause NFL Blitz, you could like legit pass interference and just dive into the wide receiver when the ball was midair, so he couldn't catch it. I love that game.
It was so fun. There's no rules. Then they came out with
The
the
hit.
PS1, and then they eventually moved into PS2. Then Grand Theft Auto came out, and then
It was
just spiraled out of control.
Yep. After Grand Theft Auto, what? It was 3, I think. That was the first big one on PS2.
Some Liberty City or
Yeah, the
something
one
like
with
that.
Liberty- yeah.
GTA.
Yeah, I think it was 3. I mean, I was 12 playing that game, and I know I shouldn't have been, but damn it, I was, and it was fun.
Dude. Honestly, can anyone honestly say they've never banged a stripper and then took her money afterwards?
I mean,
I used to make a killing. That's how I bought all my properties in that game.
I mean, that was the whole point. I mean, that's how I learned about a supply and demand economy. Was from that video game. People need drugs supplied because the demand is high. Based off that, I, as the criminal, could make money. Also,
Back when I was working for the Triads as Tony Viciari, Italian, a clear-cut Italian in Miami working for the Triads.
Yeah.
That's when I really learned the concept of supply and demand.
Yeah, and then, oh man, what is it? Also, if the cops are chasing you, drive into any random garage, come out, get a paint job, they don't even know who you are.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just basic.
That's basic.
That's basic.
That's common sense, man.
Eye tricks. Yeah, I mean, sleight of
Sleight of hand, right?
kinda
They just
up
don't
in
see. Now you see. Now you see me.
also-
Now you don't.
If you type in up, down, left, right, right, left, down, up, R2,
L2.
R1, L1,
Yep.
R2, spin around 3 times, jump 6 times forward, and then press square, and which makes you hit an old woman that's just walking down the street. You'll lower your wanted level.
There you
believe
go.
it or not. Yep, the stars go down.
There
I
you
still
go.
remember that.
See, I remember the one that gave you all weapons. And then, dude, I can't... You know what was really good? Now we've completely gone off the rails here. But the music was awesome. And the radio stations in the cars were so funny. They were very good.
I felt like I was watching Scarface.
Yeah.
Al Pacino playing Miami Vice. Or Vice City, sorry. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I'm pretty sure that's what it was all about. What was your favorite old-time game? As long as we're on this gaming kick,
Oh, God.
pre-systems, before PS3 and Xbox 360 hit, even before Xbox hit.
All right, so...
We're talking PS2, Nintendo era.
So, okay. Nintendo was probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, the New York one, where New York flew above everywhere else. Shredder rolls it up. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was probably my favorite regular Nintendo.
Dude, I love that one.
Super Nintendo. Oh man. It's probably an 8-way tie between Link to the Past, Super Mario, NHL 94, the original NCAA football, which was awesome. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Are you talking about what's that one you and Tom were playing? It's a real old NFL game. Shannon Sharp, Randall Cunningham.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
That's it. Tecmo.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought you
Tecmo
liked that
Super
one.
Bowl, and then College Slam was a NBA Jam styled college basketball game for Super Nintendo. Holy crap,
yeah.
that
Yep.
one was awesome. And I mean, dude, that's what was awesome about Super Nintendo was the games, I mean, I was just a kid, I didn't have concept of cost, but I felt like at that time you could still even just go to the store and get a bunch of cheap Super Nintendo games, get 5 of them for $50, and they were all fun and they were all good.
And you didn't know what you were playing. Right?
No,
You
man,
were just playing it.
Yeah, I
It's
had
just different.
I had a game called Super Bonk. You remember Bonk at all?
No. I don't
Okay,
know
so
that
he's a
one.
caveman who has a giant head who just headbutt people. That was his move. And it was amazing. It was a fun game. I seriously wish I still had that. Okay, so then I was a 64 kid. I did not have a PlayStation until way late. And 64 would be Star Fox. Pilot Wing 64 was badass. Quest 64 was awesome, even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing. NFL Blitz. My God. Zelda. I mean, it's so hard because
Zelda. I was waiting for you to say Zelda.
I mean, my God, it's so hard to choose, man. Pokemon Snap. Me and Amanda were just talking about Pokemon Snap the other day. It's going for $100 on eBay right now because it was so awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, me and my sister would always play Pokemon Stadium. Karsten and I would play Pokemon Stadium. Game used to give me headaches because of all the flashing and ridiculous Japanese type stuff you expect. With
You're
Pokemon.
forgetting one game. I'm surprised you haven't said yet.
I mean, Mario Kart.
Super Smash Bros.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I can't believe I forgot.
We used to play that nonstop. You remember all the battles we had at your house?
And
Back in Linden?
especially when it went to GameCube, I played more Melee.
Yes. Oh my God, that was really fun. I forgot all about GameCube. Some of the games I played, I don't remember what systems exactly. That still blurred to me, but Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, see, I wasn't a big Crash guy.
No,
Spyro.
I think that was PlayStation.
Yep.
Spyro, I played Spyro all the time because I think dragons, they were awesome.
They
I
still
think
are.
I have dragon blood within me.
Dragonborn.
That's just my personal feelings. Do you ever get into Twisted Metal?
Oh, hell yes.
Me and Tom used to play Twisted Metal a lot.
Minion.
A lot. And then PS2 came out, and then I played Lord of the Rings,
That was
some
fun.
Lord of the Rings game.
Yep,
that was
one
really
fun.
awesome. It was like modern
Third
day
person, right?
Diablo.
Yeah.
It was like modern day Diablo.
Yep.
But those are some of the games. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot.
You know,
but
you know what we never mentioned? I mean, obviously we played Madden, and we played NCAA. But I mean, my God, I think we understate how much we played NCAA. We played that game probably more than anything.
it was a really fun game.
Yep,
For
especially.
everyone. I remember when we played it when Tom first moved up to college.
Yep.
We're always doing franchises, and you guys lived on what was it, Losey?
Yep. No, we lived on.
You guys had some house. You, Adam,
Mississippi.
had with Tom.
That
That's
house,
it.
that poor house.
Mississippi. I remember that, but that's when we played a lot up there.
Oh yeah.
We won't talk about how many hours of Halo 3
Or
we
Oblivion.
have put in
Mister,
our lives.
Mister, I'm just gonna. Hey Jake, you wanna come with us? Nah, I'm just gonna hang out and play Oblivion, and then just use your summoning spell to up your summoning skill. And we're just coming back, and you're still summoning these damn things. You got 99 skill on it.
I did it for 6. We won't talk about how many hours I put in. I had a good mix of being an athlete and playing video games. It was, a lot of weekends I didn't come out of my room, but that's okay.
I was gonna say, like I feel like I'm a person who has a solid life, like just outside of work and with friends and stuff. But my God, when I look at, like, I put Skyrim in the Xbox a couple weeks ago, and I looked at the hours, and I'm not gonna say them, but I have a feeling that's probably why I was in college for so long.
When I would, back in like 2012, when I got home from the Army and moved to La Crosse,
Yep.
and started getting engulfed in the MMA world and was training and competing, people would make fun of me for playing Magic the Gathering. And I'm just like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm also smashing people's faces in the gym. So I think it's a good mix.
Yeah, you need something to... And I don't think it's any secret I play too. We've completely outed ourselves, Jake. We're out of the closet now, man. See, people, they
That's
listen to
okay.
this. Oh, two guys from Wisconsin, we're going to get some good sports stuff. We threw sports out the window at the 35-minute mark.
Nice.
Hey,
Well,
that's what it's all about.
Listen, two guys from Wisconsin. We never really said it was a sports show. We're just
That's
two
true.
guys from Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's it. If you couldn't tell by our accents, our Wisconsin accents.
How I say goal.
Yeah, or the thing we haven't said anything about a bubbler or called each other bud yet. So
I think people mistake Wisconsinites for Upper Peninsula Canada border-like people.
Oh yeah, they do big time.
When people mock Wisconsin accents, I'm like, yeah, but only like a small percentage actually sound like that.
Oh crap! Oh crap!
Let's go get in the car.
Yeah, go for a ride.
That's like Canada.
It is.
Upper Peninsula stuff.
Yeah.
I don't talk. When I was going through basic training and I was down south for a year, people couldn't tell where I was from. I didn't really talk with an accent.
Really?
I'm sure I do, but yeah, people couldn't tell where I was from. So I don't think we're too bad.
Well, I work now in customer service, and we get calls from all over, and apparently people can tell right away that we're in Wisconsin.
You work customer service. All I'm thinking about is The Office, the show The Office.
Oh yeah, yep.
Is that how it is?
I'm just gonna play that every time I walk in the door at work.
Walk in with your mug that says "Best Boss."
Yeah.
Even though you're not.
Yeah. Oh my God. And they just keep like, look at the camera, look at the cup, look at the camera, look at the cup. What camera?
Oh, I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Well,
for people that don't know, we just set up on YouTube our account. Two guys from Wisconsin. We just kind of really free flow, we flow conversation. We don't really talk about any one thing. I mean, we hit our main points on sports. We mostly cover Wisconsin sports, but after that, we kind of let it
fly.
If you haven't figured out yet.
Let it fly.
With this
and
podcast, I think I like that. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on that. I think people liked it. They like that.
Well, yeah, man. If they want structured stuff, go listen to sports radio on at ESPN or something, But
right.
Once the Packers start playing games and we have something to go off of, we'll probably have a little more to talk about. But now, shit, why not, man? It's good.
Yeah, we might start out with talking about football, and we might end up talking about Renaissance era Shakespearean weirdness.
We could
whatever I bring up that day.
We could. I have a history minor. We could bust that out. But
I was a mythology expert.
There you go.
I got this.
Well, man, we were gonna do fantasy, and we had two schmucks who said they were gonna do it with us, and then. Oh yeah, push the time back when you start. Push the time back when you start, and then you don't hear from them. So
yeah,
doesn't sound like
gotten back to me.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just pick that one up at a different time. But Jake, you got anything else, bud?
No, I mean we could ramble all day, but we'll do one next week, huh?
Sounds good. We'll probably get some fantasy stuff going on. But go ahead.
Just confirm on air, we're going to set up a Twitter account. People have been asking about it, so it will be up here soon. It will be up shortly. Two guys from Wisconsin, Twitter account.
Absolutely. And you know what we should come back with next week? Some hot takes. How hot?
Don't put it out with your boots, Dad. Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
Damn it, I mistimed it.
This one's out of control.